Today I will show you how I did this really cool photo manipulation. So let's start. Hey guys, it's Nemanja and welcome to another really fun episode. On today's menu we have this really cool Blade Runner type photo manipulation, and today you will learn some cool and interesting tips, tricks and techniques that you will benefit from. You can later use it in your own images, in your own projects. But before we start, let me just say that this episode is sponsored by Skillshare, so thank you Skillshare for that. Skillshare is a huge online learning community with more than 25,000 classes in practically anything that you need. So something like photography, videography, Photoshop, After Effects, Illustrator, whatever you need there, or maybe something completely different like 3D printing or cooking or maybe marketing or whatever you need, I'm sure they have it. And they're pretty affordable. The annual plan is less than $10 per month. And because Skillshare is sponsoring this video, they are giving you 2 months completely free premium account there. So that means that you will get unlimited access to all the content there. So all you need to do is to follow the link down there in the description, sign up for 2 months completely free and get access to all the content there. And I strongly advise you to take this opportunity of 2 months completely free. After that, you can continue with the subscription if you like it. If you don't like it, you can just cancel it, no questions asked, but you have 2 months completely free to gain some new skills or to improve your current skills in whatever practically you need. I lately use Skillshare a lot to gain some new skills in 3D printing. If you're following this channel for a while, you know that I recently purchased a 3D printer, and that's completely new field to me. And Skillshare has a lot of great tutorials, a lot of great videos about how to model and prepare model for 3D printing, how to 3D print, how to later finalize the model, etc. So it's a really good place to go to gain some new skills or even to improve your current skills. Right guys, just follow the link down there in the description and gain 2 months completely free. Now let's jump straight into Photoshop and let the fun begin. Right guys, we are here in Photoshop and today we will use this image as our background. And as you can see, I already have it in a background folder. Actually here I have 2 layers. I have this image itself as a background, and then I have this car layer, which is actually just a copy of this car. I used the pen tool and just made a selection of the car, press Ctrl or Command J and just made a copy. I will later need that car because I will later need just the selection of the car. You will see why, just be patient. Then we will use this image. This is actually myself as a model in this photo. And here I'm holding my first 3D printed gun. It's actually this gun right here. So I made this gun, I printed this gun and then painted later. And if you want to see the process, you can watch my tutorial, my video about that right here. And then we will go and use this photo. This is Kraka. You already know Kraka from my previous tutorials. He's another model in this photo. This is my 3D printed gun. All right, and we will use this texture and lens flare. This lens flare is actually one of the lens flares from my lens flare pack. So many lens flare word, right? If you want to purchase my lens flare pack, you can find a link down there in the description. Or if you want to make your own lens flares, you can watch my tutorial on the link right here, how to make your own lens flares. And that's it. So we will just use those images. Okay, so first let's go and I will use the photo of myself. I already extracted myself out of the background to save time for this tutorial. In case you don't know how to do it, you can watch my tutorial on how to select anything in Photoshop and later extract it on the link right here. So I will just go copy this and paste myself right here, and I will right click and convert to smart object. Why I'm doing this? Because I just want to have opportunity to make it smaller and bigger without losing quality. So that's cool. Smart objects are really cool. So I will put myself somewhere, probably somewhere here. And let's see about the size. We can decide later, but now I will go with this size. So something like this looks cool. And that's it. Right now let's go and take Kraka. I already extracted him too, so I will just copy him, go back here, paste it, and again right click, convert to smart object, and now let's name it. This is Nemanja, okay, and this is Kraka. All right, so now let's let's see, I want to put Kraka somewhere here on the foreground, but I need to decide the proper size of this guy. So in a previous tutorial, I already show you, actually not previous, but before that, in a science fiction scene, a robot attack, I already show you how you can find the horizon line where the actually the perspective line are crossing, and then using that technique, that trick, to properly scale the model up or down. So if you don't know how to do it, just go and watch it. I will here just quickly do that. I will press Ctrl or Command T, make him smaller. He will be my size. Okay, let me see. So we have the same shoes, and he's taller than me, probably something like this, around 10 centimeters. So this is it. And now I need to find the intersection of my perspective line, like I did in that tutorial that I already mentioned, the robot attack. And here I already know where it is, but let me quickly show you where they are. So I'll just use a white brush. So one perspective line goes like this, another goes something like here, and here is the intersection around there, that point here. So I will just delete that, press Ctrl Command T, then press Alt and click on that intersection, that dot right there, and now I'm just scaling this guy. So if I want him to be somewhere here, that's cool, and this size is pretty nice. I will just position him on this side right here. So let me see, this is cool. Maybe I want him a bit bigger, so maybe like this, like even closer, or I can make him even like that, like even closer. So this is pretty cool. This looks pretty cool. I'm pretty satisfied. So this is the distance between myself and Kraka, and he will be this size if he would walk from this point all the way to this point right there. So this is really nice. I'm pretty satisfied how this looks. I will just move him a little bit to the right just to have this light from this vehicle visible. Okay, just to have a little bit more detail there. And this is basically it from this part. Okay, now I will show you one really cool trick how to add a dreamy type glow to your images. In previous tutorials I already showed several different ways how you can add a glow to your lights in your images, and today I will show you this technique that I really like and use it from time to time, and I think this image will benefit from this method. So let's do it. Okay, for this type of effect we need to make a copy of a background image because we want to add a glow just to the background lights. So to do that I will go to background and just press Ctrl or Command J and make a copy. I don't need a car for now, so I will play with this background copy. First I want to put it in a screen blending mode. So now everything is much brighter because of that screen blending mode. And then I will go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Okay, and now we just need to find a proper amount for this effect. As you can see, this image already has some kind of a dreamy look, but of course maybe this is too much. I will go somewhere around 13, 14. This is cool before and after. I really like it. I will press OK. And now this is too bright for me. So we can go and use curves, clip to affect only this background layer that I will name glow. Okay, clip to affect only glow. And now if you make everything darker, we can control where the glow will show. So because this is on a screen blending mode, everything that is completely black will not be visible. So by making this curve, by pushing it down or by pushing this to the right, we are actually making rest of the background almost completely dark. So that will not be visible and the glow will not have effect on those parts. So we just need to play and to decide where we want this effect to be. Maybe like this. So let me see before and after. Another cool way is that we can always add a layer mask right here. Use a brush, black brush. I will use really soft one like that, 100% opacity, or maybe 20% opacity, and just paint out those parts that I don't want maybe glow to be. So maybe 100% opacity. Maybe I don't want glow here and on those parts there. Let me see. I want this type of brush. This is cool. So yeah, I want to have some kind of a glow here. So I will bring it back, and here too. Okay, as you can see. Maybe if this is too much, you can just go with lower 20-30% opacity and just add a bit of glow, but I really like it. And here. And this is cool. I just want to remove it from here. I'm using a black brush, of course, to remove the things. Maybe I will leave it here and here. Okay, let me see. And now I will again go with 30% black brush and remove from some parts. So this is just going back and forth, playing with the effect however you like it. So for me, this is cool. This is before, this is after. Let me show you another cool way how you can add some kind of glow or maybe anamorphic lens effect. It's not like real anamorphic lens effect, but I really like that type of effect on the lights on the car. You will see really quickly what I mean by that. So I will make a copy of the background again, Control or Command J, put it all the way up. And now I will just hide myself and Kraka. Okay, I have just the background. And I will go to channels, press and hold Control or Command key, click on the RGB channel, and I will now load only highlights. Okay, and now that I have highlights, I can just go here and click on layer mask. And if I press and hold Alt and the I here, you can see what we have visible. We have only the brightest part of the image selected, and I want that. I need those lights. I need those lights. Actually, maybe I will just use those lights from the car. We will see. And this is basically it. So I can get rid of the mask, right click and say apply layer mask. So I just have those lights here. And what I want to do now, I can put this into linear dodge blending mode and go to filter, blur, and motion blur. And I will just zoom here to see what I'm doing. See now, when I'm applying motion blur on 0 degrees, or you can go with 90 degrees if you want that, so you will have these kind of effects. But for this, I like 0. And you just need to decide about the distance, about the amount of this motion blur. So I will go something like this. Press OK, and this is really cool. Maybe I like it even here, but I will definitely, maybe I don't need this. Yeah, I will definitely erase from here with 100% opacity. Okay. And this is cool. Let me see. Yeah, this is cool. And I like to have it here on this vehicle. So if you want to emphasize this effect even more, you can just copy this layer, press Ctrl or Command J, and now you have this emphasize. Maybe you don't want here, you can always use a layer mask and remove the parts where you don't want your effect to be visible, or you can just go and fill layer mask with the black, Alt and backspace in this case, and with the white color just paint in parts that you want this effect to be visible, so only where the lights are. And this is basically it. So let me show you before that and after. I really like it. Also here I want to erase from these parts. Okay, so maybe these lights are cool to have. Let's go here and just make it. Okay, just something like anamorphic effect. See, I don't know, if you don't know what is anamorphic lens and what kind of lens flare it provides, just Google anamorphic lens effect and you will see. Okay, this is something that I really like for this image, so I will leave it like that. The next step, what we can do is optional. We can go right here and choose this background, this texture, and I'm doing this just to show you the options that you can do on the background. So we can go all the way here, press Ctrl or Command V to paste it, and now because this is a little bit bigger, I want to rotate, make it smaller, put it here. I want to put this into either multiply or overlay or soft light, something about that looks cool. So I will go with soft light, okay, and I will lower the opacity. and you can add this kind of texture on the walls. So now this is too much. I will go with a layer mask, and I will again erase the parts with a black color that I don't want this effect to be visible. So I'll just fast forward this. As you can see, now is a good moment to show why one of the needs that I have with extracted car layer. I will just control click on that, and I will lower the selection, and now I can really easily remove the texture from the car without removing from around objects. So this is really cool, and another usage of that selection will be applied a little bit later. So I will again fast forward and just remove this texture from the parts that I really don't need to have it. Alright guys, so that's basically it. Now I'll just lower the opacity even more, and let me show you. I will zoom these parts. This is just to add some kind of texture on the walls. Without this, it's just a flat. With this, it has some kind of a texture. If you don't like it, you don't need to use it. I'll just leave it something around 20%, and this is it. This is just me showing you what you can do with the textures. So you can always put some textures on the top of your objects. So this is really, really cool. Okay, now let's go and go back and add those two models, myself and Kraka. And now what I like to do is to just play with some color corrections. So I will go to Nemanja, go to color balance and clip to affect only Nemanja layer. And now let's zoom this. I will go a bit towards the cyan, maybe a bit towards the yellow, something like that. So before and after, yeah. And similar to the Kraka, so color balance, clip to affect only this layer, and a bit to cyan, maybe a bit to green, just a bit like that. So before and after, yeah, it's much better. Okay, now let's clean up some layers here. I will group those two, press Ctrl or Command G and name Kraka. Then I will group this, Ctrl Command G, Nemanja. And then we have background. So we have 3 clean layers. Okay, another thing that I want to do is to go to the background, and actually, let me see. Yeah, I will go to the group and apply color balance to the group, clip to affect only group, or actually because there is nothing below the group, it will only affect the group. And I just want to add a bit of cyan to remove the green. Actually, I just want to remove the green. I want to add a bit of magenta here just to have a better fit with colors between the models, background, etc. Maybe a bit of blue, but we will see that later. This is okay for now. Okay, now we can add some effects. We can add that lens flare, and we can add some smoke to make the overall scene even more interesting. If you're following this channel for a while, you already know the drill about the smoke effect, and a bunch of you guys already have my set of cloud dust smoke brushes that I will use today to create that effect. But for new subscribers, if you want to create a realistic smoke effect, I have a full tutorial on that on the link right here, and there you can find out how to make your own custom smoke brushes. Or you can purchase my set of custom smoke dust cloud brushes on the link down there in the description. They're just $1, so it's your choice. Okay, so for this effect I will use my smoke cloud dust brushes. I will use brush number 2, okay, and I will create a new layer above the background. So this is a layer between the background and myself, okay, and I will use white color, 20% opacity already preset with this brush, and I will just slowly add the effect. I will change a little bit brush size, so something like this looks cool. I just want to add a smoke here and there. This is nice. And now I will create the layer mask and go to the background and load this car, because now I want to remove the smoke, but just from the car. So that's why I have this as a separate layer. Control, click on the car, I have selection, go right here, use a black color, and with the same brush, I just want to remove the smoke from some parts of the car, because I don't want the car to be so much in the smoke. So something like this, because I mainly want the smoke to be behind the car. And now I can deselect by pressing Ctrl or Command D and just bring back some of the smoke here, not too much. Okay, so this is one layer, smoke number 1, before and after, really cool, I like it. Then I will put another layer between myself and Kraka, smoke number 2, and do the same thing. So I'll just fast forward this, I'm doing exactly the same thing. Right guys, and one thing that I forgot to do is to create a shadow for myself right here, and actually that shadow at the end will not be visible, but I will quickly show you how to do it. I will create one layer below me, I will name it shadow. Okay, and I will just use a regular soft round brush, and I will use the hardness around 75 or so. Okay, smaller brush, and let's just hide the smoke. And let me see, smoke number 2, smoke number 1. Okay, and I will sample this color right here, put the shadow layer into multiply blending mode, and I will just create 100% opacity brush. I will just create one shadow that goes from here like this. Okay, and then a new layer, shadow. I will not be precise now, I will just, yeah, I need a multiply blending mode. I will just do this because I want to show you how to do it, and in this photo this shadow actually will not be so visible, so I will not take too much time. Some imperfections here from the pants, etc. So maybe something like this, and here too. And on this shadow, same, so something like this is cool. Okay, and now I will lower the opacity of both layers a bit, something like that. Also, I should use this to blur the further parts of the shadow, and actually here nothing happens on that side. Okay, and then on this layer to blur this a bit, etc. And that's basically it. But you will see when I finish the image, this part will actually not be visible, so I won't bother with this. But now we have some kind of shadow, and let's bring back some smoke, and this is cool. Now the shadow is more visible, but don't worry. And I will create a new smoke just in the front of Kraka, so smoke number 3. Okay, use the same brush, white color, and I just want to add a bit of smoke here. Okay, this is cool. Maybe like that. This is cool, like he's walking in the smoke. You can always create a layer mask, and with the same brush, black brush, you can go and remove parts of the smoke that you don't like. So this is pretty cool, I really like it. Let me see, this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. Okay, number 2, maybe I want to add a layer mask and just remove from these parts here a bit, just to have less smoke here in this plane. Okay, and this is it. This is really cool. Now we can do a lens flare. Let's add a lens flare. So this is a lens flare. I will copy it, paste it right here, and go all the way to the background. Inside the background I will paste the lens flare. It's really big, and I will put it in a screen blending mode. Control or Command T, make it smaller, and I want to put it here. Actually, guys, I will not put it here, I will put it above everything because I want to have this kind of effect, really cool. And what I can do, I can make it a little bit, just modify it a bit like that. Okay, and I can put it actually in a linear dodge blending mode and add hue and saturation adjustment layer and just lower the saturation, because this is a white color, I don't want completely blue, so something white, almost completely white is cool. So this is one lens flare from that, I really like it, and I will leave it like that. And also what we can do, let me just show you another cool trick. There are a bunch of things that you can do, guys, but I will just show you this. I want to make a light on the car, so this is light number 1. I will use regular soft round brush, white color, 100% opacity, and just click here and click here, and then press Ctrl or Command T, and now just spread by holding Alt, Shift and Control, or Alt, Option, Command and Shift on a Mac. I just want to spread this a bit, something like that. This is cool, and let's put it in place. And now what I can do, I can create a mask, go with the gradient tool, black to transparent, and just go like this, right? So we have this light beam, before and after, maybe even more like this. Okay, so before and after we have really cool beam, and we can go with light number 2, and we can add smaller white color, so here to here, something like that. And again, we can add a layer mask, and just with the gradient tool just play like this. This is really cool effect, and but unfortunately Kraka will cover a lot of it, so it won't be visible, and I will just lower the opacity of both because now they're too bright. So this is cool, and this is cool. Okay, so I really like this. All right, now let's bring myself back to the scene. Let's double check everything. So the position, the size, everything is cool. I really like it. Maybe I will just bring Kraka a bit up, just like this. And this is it. Now it's time to merge everything into one final layer and do some color grading and finalize the image. So let's do it. I will go and collapse the layers here, the groups, sorry. Go all the way up, Shift Control Alt T or Shift Command Option E on a Mac, and this is our final layer. And what I like to do, you know guys already, I like to go to Camera Raw and to play with some settings here. So first I will go to split toning because I want to add some kind of a bluish tint into the shadows. So this is it. I really like this type of look. And with this slider, let's emphasize this a bit to see better what is going on. With this slider, with the balance, we can decide how much bluish tone will go to the shadows all the way or just to the darkest part. So I want to go something around this and to go around 30 or so. And highlights, I want to colorize highlights. You can colorize in a different color if you want, any color that you like, but I want a bluish tone in the highlights too, so something like that. Then I will go to hue, saturation and luminance part, and I will go to saturation and lower the saturation of yellow. So if I go all the way down, it will be all white, but I don't want that, something like that. And then I want to change the hue to shift it towards the orange, so something like this is cool for my taste. Also, you can play with the luminosity, make it brighter or darker, but I don't want to do that here. And the saturation of orange, we can leave it at 0. It's really cool. And now we can go to add a vignette. Okay, and I really like to add a bunch of vignette. I like contrast the scene, so this is cool, like that, really nice. Okay, and then I like to go here and add a clarity to add even more punch to the image, bit of texture, not too much, and add a bit of haze like this. So I want to open the shadows a little bit, not too much, not like that, but just a bit. Add even more blacks because I really love this contrast. Add a little bit contrast. I want to lower the highlights but open the whites, so to have even more brightness and glow there. And this looks really nice. Okay, so this is pretty much it, and I will press OK. One thing that I forgot to do is to maybe dodge and burn on those guys to make some parts brighter. We can still do that. I will go with the curves, and I will just invert it, Control Command I, and just go and find Kraka layer, press Control or Command, and click to load this as a selection, and then find Nemanja, press Shift Control and click to add selection. So I have two selections. I can go right here and with soft round brush, okay, and white color, maybe 10% opacity. I just want to dodge some parts here on these models. So maybe these edges, a bit here, face, like. Of course, for these guys, you need to invest a bit more time, because this is just for the sake of tutorial. I'm showing you the techniques and what you can do and how you can do it, but definitely you need to invest more time. So I'll now deselect and let me show you before and after, just a bit more punch here and there. And this can be left like that, but I will merge again everything into one new layer, Shift Control Alt T or Shift Command Option in a Mac, and go to Nik Color FX Pro, the plugin that I really love to use a lot. And now you need to pay for it, but for a long time it was free. And here I want to go to Pro Contrast and to go to Dynamic Contrast. Maybe you can find it somewhere for free too, just Google it. Okay, bit of Dynamic Contrast, and this is one thing that I want to do. Just wait for a few seconds for Photoshop to apply this effect. Okay, and another thing that I like to do, go again, Filter, Nik Color FX Pro, and add Detail Extractor right here, but not too much. A lot of people like to emphasize this a lot, but I don't like it, so something like that. And then I will add a mask and just put a bit of it on some portion of the image, you will see. Okay, I will press and hold Alt or Option key, click on the layer mask to add a black layer mask, and now with white brush, maybe 30% opacity, I just want to add some effects here and there. Okay, something like this looks cool. I don't want to add it to the background at all, so this is nice. Before and after, you can see just a small punch, and that's it. And now what we can do, I can show one really cool trick. A lot of you guys asked me that question on Instagram. You saw that I'm doing some kind of RGB shifting in some images because I like that kind of effect, and I will show you how you can do that. I will merge everything again into one new layer, Shift Control Alt T or Shift Command Option in a Mac, and now we'll duplicate this twice more. So Control Command J and one more time, so I have 3 layers. I will go to the first one, double click to enter this layer style dialog box, and just uncheck green and blue channels. Press OK, then go here, double click, uncheck red and blue, so I have only green. And here, you already guessed, I will uncheck red and green, I have only blue, and that's it. I have exactly the same image. And now I will go to the red here, because red channel is checked, as you can see. And with the move tool activate, I will just nudge the image by moving the arrows on the keyboard. So as you can see, I have this kind of effect that I really liked, and this is it. So on some image, I really like that, to add some kind of this almost like chromatic aberration, this type of effect. I really like it. Or you can add even more if you like it, or less, but this is really cool. And then you can maybe add a layer mask and choose where this effect will be, but I really like it like that right here. Also, I will merge everything again into one new layer, go to Filter, Other, High Pass Filter, and just sharpen this a bit. This is cool, 0.8, and put this into Overlay, Soft Light or Linear Light. I like Linear Light, and I will now go and set the black layer mask, and with the white color 100% opacity, I will just sharpen some parts that I like, especially Kraka and the gun right here, and everything else will not be so sharpened because they're back in a background. And also you can even blur the background, and there are a bunch of things that you can do. I can merge everything again into new layer, go to camera raw, and just add even more vignette. So let me see, This is something that I like for this image, but you can do whatever you want. This is just an option, how I like to do it. Right guys, so this is practically it. So let's group everything and let me show you before. Actually, this is not everything. Let's undo it. This, let me see. I have it more now. This is, I think, everything. So before color grading, after color grading. So you can see it's a huge difference before and after. I really love the result. And here you can see my final version. Also, you can check it on Instagram too. Right guys, so that's it for today. I really hope that you like this tutorial and that you learn a bunch of cool and interesting tips, tricks and techniques from this one that you can later use in your own images, in your own projects. If you have any questions regarding to this episode, please leave me down there in the comment section below. I will be glad to answer it. Also guys, if you like this episode, if you appreciate this content, just press the like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe in case you're not already, and also ring that bell to get notified about all the future episodes. If you want to help me to make this channel even bigger and better, you can do it by visiting my Patreon page. The link is down there in the description. And also you will get some things in return, like my PSD files, etc. Also guys, make sure to check out the Skillshare. You will get 2 months completely free, so take advantage of this opportunity and go there and learn some new and cool skills in that 2 free months. Have fun, experiment, and see you guys in my next fun episode. Bye bye.